Okay, folks, we're almost at the end here. The essay is almost going to be written, and hopefully you recognize this right here, what I'm going to be doing. If you don't, you can go back in time, and actually, you don't have to go back in time. You can just watch it right now. It's a video that's called The Iceberg, and I'm finally able to create the piece of the iceberg that is above the ocean. That is my actual essay. And everything that is beneath the surface is all of the thinking, a ton of reading that I did. Thinking, reading, constructing a question, and then changing my question, and then coming up with a thesis. This is actually going to go into my essay directly, but all these other things might not. Finding quotes. This was a big thing, and I've got about, I don't know, maybe 12 that are candidates. Now, I might not end up using all of them, but I do have some good quotes that I found in my documents, like this one right here. I read it very carefully, and I was able to find a lot of things that might be useful in my essay. Direct quotes: there existed little recognition that African Americans or whites could enjoy any music or entertainment unless it originated in or culturally drew from their own race. For example, this is talking about the past. Before Duke Ellington, this is what people thought art was like. There was art for white people and art for black people, and there was no relationship between the two. Of course, we know that that is not true. And Duke Ellington is one of the people that convinced us that it was not true. And so you can tell that all those things I have highlighted are things that fit with my thesis statement that I broke down into 3 pieces. Ellington redefined intellectual quality by creating music that transcended the color barrier. Okay, I found a lot. So most of my evidence is right here. Acting with great personal dignity in his relationships with people of all races. I found a good amount of stuff that would really fit with that. And I found 2 solid examples for this one, maybe 3. So off camera, I'm going to assemble these quotes, and I'm going to have an idea of exactly what quote I'm putting where. And maybe I'll show you this on my computer after I put these quotes in here. I'm not real sure if I'll do that or not. Of course, at the end of my paper, I'm going to have a conclusion. It doesn't look like the word conclusion, but a hook. I have a great candidate for my hook. If you've been watching all this videos, you know that my hook is going to be when the president played piano and sang a song to Duke Ellington, and you'll get to see me write that part, which I'm going to do on another video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize my quotes from all my different sources, right? That thing I plopped down in front of you was just one of my sources. I've got more sources that I found different quotes. I think I even talked about that one. And what's this one right here? This has got some quotes in here. What is this? That's interesting. This one I actually have nothing. I read this whole thing, and I'm not going to use anything from it. And that is also part of the research process. Reading things. Oh, folks, the research process. I think every paper that I wrote in high school, I just wrote to get the paper done and just be done with it. And I probably learned less than I could have by writing that way, and that's not what I'm asking you to do. So just do your best. That's all I can ask. And yeah, I'm going to organize these a little bit, and I'll probably come back with some more bullets here that'll tell me what order I'm going to use my quotes in. And I might even put my quotes in my paper and write my paper around them. That's definitely a way you can do it if you want to. So I'll see you in a few. All right, folks, and here I am with my essay in front of me. I've decided to do this on the computer rather than doing it on a piece of paper. That way I only have to get my quotes in one time. And I do want to point out one thing as I let me make this big so you can really get the message here. This is so important and so easy that every time you have a quote in your paper, this is how the quote is punctuated. So here is the quote. There existed little recognition that African Americans or whites could enjoy any music or entertainment unless it originated in their or culturally drew from their own race. And you can see that that fits very well with the redefined So this is talking about before Ellington. There was little recognition. It was like white people had white people music, black people had black people music, and nobody was going to be able to enjoy anything else. So this is a quote I'm definitely going to use in my paper because it's just what I need to prove that part of my thesis. But you can see right here, this I absolutely expect you to do every time you have a quote. So here's the quote, quotation mark. At the end of the quotation, I have my other quotation mark. Always. After that, there's a space, there's parentheses, and this is what we do in the style that we're using, which is MLA. Here is the author, and there is the page, and there is the period. Every time. Letting the reader know that, yes, this is a quote, and this is what my quote is exactly, but my sentence is not over until I give the creator of that quote the recognition that they deserve. And so here is Cohen's name. He's the writer. This is the page that you can find it on. And then if you wanted to check out my work to make sure to see where it came from, you can look in my references, which it's not there yet, but I can easily get that reference. And I'll just do this for you because it doesn't hurt. Go back to my folder, and I can find that reference. Here, there's the article right here. And let me just go ahead and put that in right now because you're going to have to do this for all of your sources. I'm going to scroll over to the MLA source, and you can see it's organized with his last name right there. So I'm going to copy that and then paste it, and it's going to be a little bit goofy when I paste it in there. It's going to go after my conclusion in my references section. But you can see that that they can say, oh, Cohen, oh, it must be that guy right there. And if they wanted to, here's the title of the article. They could track it down. And if they wanted to, they could find this is the journal that it came from, which is right here. So this is how we think about, and there's even the page numbers. And this says that I accessed it on December 12th, which is today. So I will end this video right now, but I'm gonna start writing my intro, and I'm gonna publish these as videos because I want you to see how I'm thinking as I create this essay. But this is a technique you might want to use to organize yourself because I know I'm going to be using these quotes, and now I've already got them into the body of my paper, and I'm going to be, in essence, writing my paper around these quotes because these quotes are the evidence that I can use to prove my thesis.